inside I feel the scream. This terrible silence stops me. Now that the war is through with me, I'm waking up, I cannot see that there's not much left of me. Nothing is real but pain. Now hold my breath as I wish for death. Oh please God, wake me. Back in the womb, it's much too real. It comes life that I must feel, but can't look forward to reveal. Look to the time when I live, fed through the tube that sticks in me, just like a wartime novelty, tied to machines that make me be. Cut this life off from me. See Metallica live, get tickets as low as 50 dudes. You might also like House of Memories, Panic at the Disco, Cherche Toi qui n'y en cannot, Ballad of a Homeschool Girl, Olivia Rodrigo. Hold my breath as I wish for death. Oh please God, wake me. I cannot live, I cannot die, trapped in myself, body my holding cell. Landmine is taking my sight, taking my speech, taking my hearing, taking my arms, taking my legs, taking my soul, left me with life in hell. Darkness imprisoning me, all that I see, absolute horror. I cannot live, I cannot die, trapped in myself, body my holding cell. Landmine is taking my sight, taking my speech, taking my hearing, taking my arms, taking my legs, taking my soul, left me with life in hell. You know I know you got to see me. Read underneath the dead man's hand again. I see it in your eyes. Take one look and die. The only thing you see, you know it's gonna be the ace of spades. The ace of spades. The sweet and tender love we used to share. Just go back to the places where we used to go, and I'll be there. Oh, how can I forget you? Then there's always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. I was born to love you, and I will never be free. You'll always be a part of me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. If you should find you miss the sweet and tender love we used to share, just go back to the places where we used to go, and I'll be there. Oh, how can I forget you? And then there's always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. I was born to love you, and I will never be free. When there is always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. you, and then there's always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. Something has to change. undeniable dilemma. Boredom's not a burden anyone should bear. Constant overstimulation numbs me, but I would not.
This is Console Wars, the card game. Featuring more famous video games than you can shake a stick at, Console Wars finally allows you to win a war you've been fighting and probably losing on the internet your entire life. Quit being a keyboard warrior with the warm embrace of anonymity to protect you. Now you and your friends can fight on the front lines, battling for incredible franchises, exclusivity, and eventual victory. Collect some of the most famous video game franchises of all time. Protect them with loyal and frighteningly dedicated fans. Brave the volatile video game industry and claim the ultimate victory in the console wars. Your favorite video game making mega corporation needs you. Enlist today. Head to consolewarsgame.com. Pick up a copy of Console Wars, the card game, outshine your rivals, and prove that your platform reigns supreme. Out now. This is Xbox Era. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. With best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch, XboxEra.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the Xbox Era podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon-exclusive content, we're proud to be an independent publication completely funded by you. If you value having an outlet truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/Xbox Era. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. Everything Xbox Era does is only made possible by the growing army of incredible Patreon supporters. Our MVPs and executive producers are all incredible people, but even more so are our grand benefactors, Croat56, Assassin, and Kevin S. All of this under the watchful eye of our lovely and benevolent CEO, Torn Raptor. If you want to become part of one of the best communities on the internet, head to patreon.com/Xbox Era, where your patronage can help keep us alive for another month. Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Xbox Era Headlines, our twice-weekly show that covers all of the latest and perhaps not so greatest from across the video game industry. In the spirit of that industry, we talk about all of the platforms, not just Xbox. So if you've happened to tune in expecting centric Xbox-only news, brace yourself. We're going to talk about everything. Today's date is November the 6th, 2025. I'm your host, John, and joining me, as always, is Jesse Norris.
Good morning.
How are the volume levels for you? The piano's really loud for me, or it raises when you speak.
Weird. There, I'll lower
Yeah.
it. There you go. I'm doing well.
You're blown out now in my head. I don't know.
I'm blown out in your head. I'm not.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be blown out on screen.
No, let us know, chat, if the audio levels are okay. They should be.
You can lower me in the people tab on StreamYard.
I don't want to necessarily do that.
Well, if I'm blown out in your, but it doesn't lower me for the stream. It only lowers me for you.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm going through OBS.
I'm
doing well.
Good morning, everybody in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. As a heads up and a bonus for our wonderful Patreon community, we make audio versions of these episodes available to them in Patreon for use in their preferred podcast app. But if you're on Spotify, you can link your account on Patreon and listen to it there instead. If you would like to support Xbox Era directly and help us take over the world, head over to patreon.com/Xbox Era. Before we get into all the news, let's talk about all the games, because we've just published several game reviews over the last couple of days and we want to tell you all about them. First up is the feature story today from Jesse. Voidtrain.
One of 3 games that we are the only ones to have reviewed this week. I'm still somehow the only person who did Dead Static Drive, and I think every time it's because we have directly gotten in touch with the developer to get the review code. But Voidtrain is coming to Xbox on Friday with version 1.0. I originally had a review in progress going because they did. I didn't think they had a 1.0 like early access period on Steam, which is where I had to review it. And then yesterday, in the middle of the day, they email me and say, "Oh God, I forgot to give you the beta code for the 1.0 build," and so I deleted my done video. I deleted my article. I reused a lot of the text for the main review because it's just all the stuff that explains the game and what it is. But redid the whole thing and just pushed it live immediately because for the 3rd time this week, there was kind of no embargo, which is always weird. But cool. Voidtrain is, and I'm going to say this, and it's not something I normally care about, survival crafting. But
it's not normally your jam.
Much like Raft, if you ever played that, all the stuff you need to survive and craft is close to you. So in Voidtrain, you are essentially going down a magical railway, starting with this push cart that's on the screen right now. And everything you need is just in a little circle around you as you go down the track. You grab it all. Eventually, you build up a real big, fancy train, which you also see in the video. You can tell a lot of the footage I was playing right around Halloween because there was pumpkins and candles everywhere. And when you play, it'll be spears and skulls and like rib cages and shit. Because this game was in early access for 4 years.
Wow!
And it was announced, I believe, for Xbox back then. It was supposed to come to Game Preview. It never did. But now at version 1.0, it will be in Game Pass on Friday on Cloud Console PC. And it is fantastic. It has a story they didn't think they were ever going to do. Like, it was originally just going to be going down this and doing the roguelike thing of having it be procedurally generated on what you run into and what's around you. But then they ended up making a really good story that was way, way better than I thought it would be. Which is pretty much how I feel about everything in this game. It is just way better than I thought it would be. The time spent in early access worked really well. Because when I go back and I look at some of the reviews from like 2022 and 2023, and people are like, "Oh, it really needs this and this and this," I'm like, "Oh, it has all those, and they're really well done." Especially the automation side of things, which for this genre feels great. Instead, like pretty quickly, like you see how big my train is and all these little guys that are desperate for water, they go out and they just get all this stuff. They chomp on it, then they puke it up into the bucket and you pick it up and you've got all the things you need to craft. And then all these little guys that I'm running by now automate everything on your train to make it run and work more efficiently. And
it's such a cool concept. I'm looking at the gameplay here and I'm just like, who's smoking what? And can I borrow some?
And everything here I built from a grid-based system. Like, it's not...
That's so cool.
Yeah. It's just a really good, clever, smart game. Once you beat the campaign, you can just keep playing forever, building up your train. It's really good. Hopefully it runs well on Xbox. It ran there's no upscaling for me in this video, but I'm at a locked 105 FPS max 4K. Obviously, because it's not super big in scope. It does have DLSS 2.0, which should tell you how old it was when it started, because DLSS has gone way past 2. It has no FSR, nothing else. But it ran great on the Ally X. It ran great on my PC. The shooting feels good, both on mouse and keyboard and controller. I will be very surprised if this looks and runs poorly on Xbox on Friday. Fingers crossed. We'll see. I still haven't gotten code for it there.
They've had enough time to kind of optimize 4 years. Like hopefully that's not a rush port.
Well, it's very well optimized on PC because, again, I had no upscaling, and like every game nowadays needs upscaling to run well, and this one ran incredibly well at max everything. And I could get a lock 60 on the Ally at like medium and high. And it is a 4-player co-op game. You can go through, play everything together. It'll be a lot faster, obviously, to get all the upgrades. The way it runs is pretty much every journey on the rail is interspersed with stopping at a depot. The depots sometimes are just for finding more materials, fighting people, and doing full train upgrades. Other times it's for story stuff. Sometimes in the middle of your run on the tracks, there's story stuff. Like, it's very well paced. It was about 25 or so hours total for me to play through a full run. You can change all the world settings. If you want to be able to have a stack of 50 instead of 10, you can. So you don't need to build 8 million storage things if you're not into it, or you can make it harder and have a stack of 5, where you can have enemies do barely any damage, do a ton of damage, be super aggressive, not be aggressive. You can customize it to what you want. I ended up leaving most stuff on default, which is pretty challenging but not impossible, and upped my stack size so that I could have less storage taking up space, because that's one of the more annoying things in this. But yeah, like everything, when you're building the train, when you're adding platforms, when you're building walls and roofs, those are all like set pieces that you unlock slowly through a research point system. Everything you loot can either be used or made into research points. Like, it's a very basic loop that is just deep enough to feel good, but it never felt like I was spinning too many plates like some of these games can sometimes. It's really smartly done. Highly recommend.
It looks nice, and I know you've given me a code.
Mhm.
I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but it's definitely something.
Maybe 900 more hours in Arc Raiders, then maybe you'll try something else.
The Arc Raiders obsession is still very much going strong. Yeah, that's not the only review that we've dropped for video games this week. Our own Fairy Empire reviewed Pinball Craziness XENOTILT, which is, I think it's out now. I think it's out now. Yeah, it's out now. Hostile pinball action. Suffice to say, he really enjoyed it, giving this game a whopping 9 out of 10.
Another one where I was talking with the dev and there was really no embargo on doing it, but he was having a hard time getting Xbox code ahead of launch.
Yeah, this is I mean, he played this on Xbox in the end.
Yeah,
so
I gave him the code. Yeah.
But this is that thing, right? Like, and this is a trend you'll see today, folks. These 3 games, you go and tell me how many reviews are out there from your big sites that are supporting the video game industry. You go and tell me how many you can find out there.
And that is one of the things that's real funny, is like when you look at this Game Pass drop, it's full of incredibly good indie titles, and all the people that say, oh, support the devs and indies rule, they're like, oh, there's jack shit $30 for this. And it's like, there's a lot of amazing games, and there's Black Ops 7. It's pretty obvious that one sucks all the funding out of the room when it comes out. But still, they were able to get a bunch of other good shit. And you might have reviewed yet another Game Pass game that's dropping right 10 minutes ago called Egging On.
Yeah, it's true. It's out now on Game Pass. I think it's out on everything, so PC, PS5, Xbox Series consoles.
Thank you, Sean Lawrence, for the $10 donation to Extra Life. That'll be all day tomorrow. But there's a lot of incentives and stuff that'll go live tomorrow, and there is a bunch of milestones, including making John play a very scary Dying Light nighttime The Beast incentive pretty later on. But egging on, John.
Yeah, egging on. You play as an egg. It is in the vein of rage bait, streamer bait, get angry, just go up style games like Chain Together, which I think you and I did a stream on, like Peak.
But this is the big one.
Yeah, this is single player, so there's no multiplayer shenanigans here. But you are a physics-based egg, and you have to climb your way out of the hen house to beyond. This is, excuse my French, this is fucking hard. If you start playing it, it will punish you. There's nothing worse than you mistime a jump and your egg splats to the ground and you've got to start the whole run again. Now, the game can be completed in an hour if you're super skilled. But thankfully, outside of the funny, like, there is some clever developers here at Ego Bounds who have made some good accessibility changes in that they have provided an alternate mode where you are checkpointed.
Yeah.
So you've got a little drone with an egg box underneath it, and as you get further, you'll unlock checkpoints. And if you fall, you go back to the drone pad, and it will fly you back up to where you were. But they've gone one step further, and they've added skins for your egg, so you can look like a lot of different eggs, like an Easter egg, a disco ball egg, a duck egg, an egg in a suit. But they've added special skill-based eggs. So you've got the egg timer, and you have to charge your jump. You've got a rocket egg where you've got the power to slow down time, maneuver your egg in the time bubble, and then shoot a limited fuel supply to reach to further heights. And they've gone for the pixelated retro egg, which gives you a double jump and a time slowing mechanic. So there's a bunch of extra stuff here to kind of like, oh, I want to, yeah, oh man, the egg puns. This review was a pleasure to write. It was exhilarating. They've done some really smart stuff here to give the player the choice of how they want to do it. I really am looking forward to you probably streaming some of this tomorrow during your extra live stream, because I frankly want to see you get angry with it and fail. Having said that, if you're a Patreon member, we have released a Patreon Peeps episode, which is exclusive to our paid Patreon members, where you can watch me play the first hour or so of the game and completely rage the fuck out. I've had fun over the last couple of days playing this. We only had like 3 or 4 days to get the review done in. And full disclosure, and I mention it in the review just in case anyone thinks I'm super skilled, I have not made it to the top in one unbroken run. I have not made it to the top at all for this, but what the developers did do was enable me to move my egg around and experience every level, and try out different things and look at the full game. So, you know, leet hacks, whatever that jazz, but they've made a really, really great game here. And I think folks should probably check it out. It is worth a laugh on Game Pass. And it's on PS5 and PC too. So check it out there. Check it out everywhere. That's about it for reviews this week, I think, or today at least. We've got more.
There'll be a review in progress for, was it Kentum, I think is the name of it, that Scripted's doing.
Yes, yeah, he told me about it. On that as well, and seeing as Travis mentioning Arc Raiders a fair bit in the old chat, I've played enough of Arc Raiders that I feel like I might finalize my review score today. And if anything, it's only gone up. And I gave that a 9 because my gut was like,
this is 93 on
awesome.
OpenCritic right now.
You know, like, I don't think it's a 10. Like, it's not a 10, but I do think it's up there. So I might increase the score. I might write a little like final paragraph of like my
9.1.
9.5. I don't really like doing 0.2s and 0.6s. Or
How about 9.25 like Game Informer?
That's weird.
Yeah, they do quarters.
But yeah, but before we get into the news topics, I do want to acknowledge a super chat from a humble executive producer on our Patreon side, the lovely Sherez. Humble executive producer requests for the podcast to go on this weekend. Now, Nick messaged me on Discord earlier this morning, so his evening, and he said, "Oh, you know, podcast this weekend, right?" No, his first message was, "No podcast this weekend, right? There's no big news or anything." And I said, "Well, there's nothing huge outside of, you know, PlayStation, you know, doing the whole PC and the PS Plus streaming stuff, which we'll talk about in a bit." And I said, "I'm happy for a weekend off if you are." And he is happy for that weekend off. So unless something dramatic changes within the next 24 to 48 hours, we're a pretty consistent show. Like, you know, it's nice. You know, our partners will be happy we've got the weekend off. I've got my kids this weekend. They'll be happy I've got the weekend off. It'll be good. It's good for everybody.
Well, you've been called out in chat by one Mike Straw Media.
Mike Straw Media. Mike 0 for 4 straw. You know what we're talking about. Let's just keep it between us, all right? That's how it should
You're the one who
stay.
said it in public.
It's between me and Mike. Jay Foley TV. Super chat here. I also want the pod on Saturday. Have a good day. I recognise that, but do you, darling patrons, really begrudge us a Saturday evening to ourselves,
Yes.
or a Saturday morning. Do you?
They do.
I mean, I don't mind. Like, I don't mind doing it, if we really need to. But oh my god, my cat! What? She's okay. That's right. She's covered in plant. Anyways, let's see. Let's see if Nick changes his mind. He seems pretty.
Well, he
keen.
won't. The moment that he was like, "Oh, it's next week, good. We don't have to do a show." Then I'm like, "Okay, I guess."
I do plan on making an appearance on Fridays.
Yeah, you will get
extra live stream.
Unless we make no more money, you will probably get a roughly 12-hour or so stream. And if it keeps going strong, maybe I'll do a part 2 and just keep going.
I will say as well, I think Kat is with me here Friday night, so maybe I will put her on for her first on-camera, appearance. And she can say hello.
For people wondering, you can look right above there, tinyurl.com/EXLife2025. Starting tomorrow, there'll be a bunch of incentives for donations that are game codes, nicely supplied by PR companies and people and whatnot. All the money goes to the Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital of Clearwater, Florida. Not a penny goes to us or anything else. So yeah, if you just want to give some money and be nice, there's also milestones you can see on the page. And there is the ever-present incentive of donate $35 and I will eat one of these beans, which are almost always disgusting and never good. Jelly beans, in case you're wondering. So.
Fun times. Anyway, let's dive into the news and everything else across the video game industry. Starting with Golden Joystick Awards have announced their Ultimate Game of the Year nominees. It's a pretty eclectic, great mix of awesome video games here. It's the 43rd annual Golden Joystick Awards. They're being held on November 20th. And despite Xbox not having nominations in either the PC Game of the Year or Console Game of the Year categories, they have finally got a firm contender for Ultimate Game of the Year. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is in there. We've also got nominated Blueprints, which is my favorite single-player game of the year. Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, the planet's hot favorite for overall game of the year winning of awards, and all the kudos to them. Sony and Kojima Productions' Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza from Nintendo, Hades 2,
the winner.
which, it's really good, but as soon as I played it, having played so much Hades, I was also like, I'm not really in the mood for more Hades right now, and I'll just come back to it when I want. It didn't immediately be like, you must play this loads now. I didn't get hooked like I did with the original Hades because I played so much Hades, and it doesn't feel like this massive leap forward. Now, people that played it lots might tell me that it absolutely is, but I'm surprised to see it here so predominantly.
What do you mean? It's going to win every award. It's going to win Game of the Year. It's at the TGAs. It's going to win them all.
I think Expedition 33 will.
Nope.
That's just me.
Too far away, and not Hades. Not horny enough.
Well, maybe. Hollow Knight Silksong is in there as well, and Ghosts of Yotei, and lastly, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is good to see, considering it came out very early in the year, and Silent Hill F and Split Fiction. And Peak. Peak is in there as a nominee, which is great because it was a very funny game that was chucked together in 6 months. But cool. That's a good list of 3 months. Good list of games there. It's worth mentioning, Bash. This is not the Game Awards. This is the Golden Joystick Awards. So Jeff Keighley's bromance with Hideo Kojima is not necessarily a factor here. So yeah. That much.
It's funny, even a year where they only essentially have 2 or 3 big first party games, they both of course get nominated every time.
Yeah, because it's the primary main platform. Go figure. Next up in news, this we talked about this story a little bit on Tuesday, with Grand Theft Auto. Publishers Take-Two and Rockstar firing more than 30 people last week across the UK and Canada for what they said was gross misconduct. Union that they were all trying to organize with an independent union body said, oh, this is a blatant attack or a union busting maneuver. Rockstar Games have now come out and said that the dozens of employees it fired last week, this is reported by Bloomberg and Jason Schreier, were sharing and leaking company secrets and have disputed allegations by labor leaders that it was disrupting workers' attempts to unionize. I'm reading Jason Schreier's words here. The employees have been sharing company information in a forum that included non-employees, a Rockstar spokesperson said in a statement to Bloomberg on Wednesday. Last week, we took action against a small number of individuals who were found to be distributing and discussing confidential information in a public forum, a violation of our company policies. This was in no way related to people's right to join a union or engage in union activities.
But the discussion was, I think, them in a forum talking with union organizers about becoming a union.
Correct. But I imagine as part of that discussion, conversations were probably had about working conditions and I was made to do this and probably some detail here and there, and have Take-Two used the fact that to provide that context, these employees potentially have shared some information they shouldn't have. Yeah. And it's like a horrible technicality that they've used to get rid of them, allegedly. I don't know, but that's what it kind of smells like.
Yeah, depending on where you are, there's not always labor protections around it. Like some countries, I think like Australia, it's fine, someone was saying, but yeah. And I'm wondering what the public forum was. Was it just a Discord server that somebody snitched on or what? I didn't read the whole article, so I'm not 100% sure.
We don't know. I don't think that detail has been laid out. But yeah, the plot thickens. I don't think we'll hear much more on this one for a while because this company's big enough to just be like, here are our rules. We can say that they broke those rules. The end. And obviously those employees will probably be under some pretty serious NDAs, so won't be able to do anything about it, which is really rough. Boo.
Yeah, when it comes to GTA, I'm guessing all of their NDAs are pretty tight.
Yeah. Speaking of giant corporations battling it out for our almighty dollar.
Finished battling.
Yeah. Fight complete. Epic and Google agree to settle their lawsuit, and Android's fate is changed globally as a result. This is via Sean Hollister over at The Verge. Just when you thought that Epic and Google might be over, effectively the Supreme Court had rejected, I think, Google's request for a stay, and they'd handed plenty of victories to Epic. Now it's all kind of changed up. This is a curious one. I didn't expect it to go this way, right?
Well, yeah, no, Epic kept winning, and this is Google finally saying, okay, you won. Here's what we'll do, and Epic's like, good. You're going to make it so it's not... It's a big thing about dark patterns that we tried to talk to Nick about during Fortnite, and he's like, no, I love it. I love dark patterns. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Nick, no. A lot of it is just about making it so that the closed ecosystems are more open. They're not fully open. They still have to have some form of verification and stuff like that, but way lower fees, way easier access to third-party stores, all those types of things. So lots of good things for us, hopefully.
Yeah, originally the judge had agreed to some of Epic's demands, and there was a permanent injunction that would force Google to carry rival app stores within its own Play Store, give those stores the full access to Google Play apps, and restore competition in the marketplace. But now, instead, Google is agreeing to reduce its standard fee to 20% or 9%, depending upon the kind of transaction and when an app was first installed. It's agreed to create a new program in the very next version of Android where alternative app stores can register with Google and theoretically become first-class citizens that users can easily install. This is via Sean Hollister over at The Verge. I think Tim Sweeney posted about this on on social media. He said Google has made an awesome proposal subject to court approval to open up Android in the US Epic v Google case and settle our disputes. It genuinely doubles down on Android's original vision as an open platform to streamline competing store installs globally, reduce service fees for developers on Google Play, and enable third-party in-app and web payments. It's a comprehensive solution which stands in contrast to Apple's model of blocking all competing stores and leaving payments as the only vector for competition. The public filings are live. So there you go. I wonder if Epic, did Epic sue Apple as well? If they won that one? Have they lost that one? Is that still ongoing?
Apple's been losing more in the EU, I think, than the US. But the EU likes going after Apple, which is why they now have USB-C.
Yeah. There you go. Cool story.
Unlike the next one,
Yeah,
which is half cool.
I tried to argue this, but I don't know if people missed it. I was on Giant Bomb's Jeff Grubb's
No,
Game
AI
Nest
all bad forever.
thing. And I know that the general stance from a lot of people is all AI is bad forever. And I'm like, I mentioned this before, but like I got a demonstration from Razer on some quality assurance AI tech that had the game running and auto flagged while reading the code and seeing what's on screen, and auto flagged when a bug occurred and took a screenshot, and you had instantly like everything that had happened. And that's an AI helping process that information. That is a new tool that has been built. And I get that much like in every other industry, when a machine comes along and replaces your job, sucks for the person that has the job. But to inherently just paint the brush of all AI bad is foolish.
It's the generative AI that just steals IP is bad.
Yes, that I can agree
all with. Generative AI that is based off stealing IP, like Sora and all those other things, don't like them, hate them.
Yeah.
But there are the tools that people use, and especially for things where it is like impossible to have enough people to actually cover it, like online discourse on Xbox Live, where they use it to be able to go through and flat things and parse them. Where it sucks is with Google and YouTube, where they have their AI moderation that just is judge, jury, and executioner, and then they keep having to go back and put huge channels back up that people abused the complaint system on. So, like, there are perfectly fine tools that are machine learning. Like, there are things throughout history that have been similar in concept. The generative AI IP theft shit sucks. Go after that all the time, but don't say if the word AI is ever used, it must be pure evil, because it might not be. And look at
We're
that
such
yellow
a defense force over here. How dare we have a differing opinion? So contrarian. But yes, the reason we're talking about AI, of course, is Square Enix have released a progress report on their medium-term business plans for their shareholders. And there's a fair bit of information in there on what they refer to as their 3-year reboot for long-term growth. And among the notes are plans for AI, their overseas structural reform, and plenty of other tidbits. But one key element that should garner plenty of attention from Xbox fans is, this is the good news, they are reaffirming their multi-platform strategy. Final Fantasy Rebirth will come to Xbox.
And it sounds like the idea is everything just day and date moving forward is what it reads like. Everything. So the next, whatever the third one is, I would imagine probably day and date, unless that contract is still going somehow.
Yeah. But yeah, you can check out the slide deck over on XboxEra.com's article now if you want to see this for yourself.
Depending on the time frame, I would love to review Final Fantasy VII Remake and give it a 5, because I think it sucks. I don't think it's very good. That would
certainly upset some people.
Yeah, Rebirth maybe a 6, but I didn't play enough Rebirth. I played enough Remake. I don't think Final Fantasy VII Remake's very good. Never have, though.
Yeah, that's coming out in 2026. So
yeah, it's early next year.
There.
It was on it was like January or February. It was on a Switch Direct.
Yeah, something like that.
And they just said it's planned for Rebirth, no time frame given. But Nate the Hate has repeatedly said it was probably some point next year.
There's also some additional notes on Square Enix's plans for AI utilization in Japan here, with the publisher noting that the initiation of joint research with the Matsuo Laboratory at the University of Tokyo. And the aim for that research is, and I quote, automate 70% of quality assurance and debugging tasks in game development by the end of 2027 through the use of automation technology aimed to improve the efficiency of QA operations and establish a competitive advantage in game development.
Poor QA people, they're already the worst treated.
Yes, on that front, on the human front, that sucks, right? But much like with any industry, when a machine comes along that can make this job more efficient and useful, a company is going to use it. And I feel for every human being out there, but I'm not going to performatively, get some outrage going just to, I don't know, curry good favor in some form. It is reality. That is likely going to happen. And I see that as being a legitimate use of this tool, of this tech going forward at a lot of game companies, because that side of things does make it easier. And I've seen the live demonstration for myself. I've seen it happen in real time, and it was very cool. So, yeah, sucks, but I get it. Big companies. I understand why you're doing that. Wouldn't surprise me to see that happen across all the big publishers in similar timeframes.
Or it mostly has happened, and they just don't talk about it a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go. At least you're getting Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and probably Final Fantasy VII, whatever the next one is.
Mm-hmm.
In other news, in case you missed it, it's Call of Duty Black Ops 7 time next week.
I've heard rumors that it's coming out early. It might be out on the 11th, John. Is that true? Oh, shit.
Shut up! Stupid data miners doing stupid things. No, it's not. It's a global launch. I think it's midnight everywhere local to you on the 14th.
So and as far as I know, you have to set both your console and your Activision account to New Zealand for it to work. You can't just do one.
Ooh,
that's how the beta was. You had to go into your Activision account on the website and set it to New Zealand.
Again, we might as well call this the contrarian episode of Headlines. Again, I know that it's super popular and super normal to be like, boo, Call of Duty sucks, man. Battlefield 6, Arc Raiders, yeah. And while I'm all on the Arc Raiders camp, and Battlefield 6 is excellent.
Battlefield 6's maps suck.
Yeah. But then again, I don't love the giant maps. So
yeah, the giant maps are what Battlefield was. Battlefield is not a good
for proper Battlefield fans.
Yeah.
But in this instance, it looks to be the biggest, most expansive, most full package of Call of Duty in quite a while. We're talking a full zombies experience, a full multiplayer suite with 16 launch maps, and a single player campaign that is also a fully 4-player cooperative campaign with an end game.
That is a full-on extraction game.
What? Yeah. And we don't know what all this looks like yet. Jesse's had some hands-on time with a few bits and pieces, but that's an enormous package that's coming out on Game Pass next week for everyone. I expect it to be massive. Anyone smoking crack and thinking that Battlefield 6 is going to kill Call of Duty this year is definitely on hallucinogens.
The good thing it did is it gave them some competition, which is always good and healthy.
That I agree with. Yeah.
But Battlefield is going through the normal Battlefield motions of being unbelievably hyped at launch, and within a few weeks, the hardcore community is really angry at it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Call of Duty looks great. We will try and... Last year was a race. We'll probably end up being the same thing this year. Who knows? Because they haven't heard anything about I don't think they really do events or anything like that anymore after COVID. A lot of that stopped with Battlefield as well. We were able to get Battlefield code early, but obviously you can't do the multiplayer stuff, which is why that came later. So it ended up probably being the same on this. Try and get a campaign review done probably that day. The base campaign and seeing what the extraction mode is like, I think, is good. I'm sure people will be like, you didn't get through the entire extraction mode. It's like, well, I didn't. I was reviewing the campaign. But then Ferry will be working his butt off, I'm sure, to get the zombies and multiplayer reviews done as quick as we can.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah,
we'll do our best.
Our best.
Us. Yeah. We somehow managed to review more things quicker than everybody else. And according to one weird person that really can't let things go, we just don't finish games. But that's not true. So
Yeah, but if you just say it enough, then you make yourself believe it.
yeah. Anyway, in other big news this week, and this did cause a lot of discussion and consternation and everything else. Like we were certainly chatting about it on the Giant Bomb Game Mess with Jeff Grubb yesterday, was the PlayStation updates. So there's a couple of things to look at here. There's the official update on the PlayStation blog that cloud streaming has officially arrived on the PlayStation Portal with new support for digital PS5 games in your library. This is directly from Takuro Fushimi, the senior manager at product management at Sony. They introduced a cloud streaming beta last year. PlayStation Plus premium members can cloud stream select PS5 games from that catalog and classics via cloud. And now the Portal will have that ability for PlayStation Plus premium members. And there's a whole bunch of new features
it didn't
as well.
have that at the beginning.
It is a bit. It is amazing to me seeing the hoops and the loop-de-loops that some of the more vocal fan base are doing on this on the PlayStation side, because cloud sucks and this is rubbish, and now it's like, oh, I can stream all my PS5 games. This is better than $1,000 handheld, and I'm like, okay, all right, I can't even argue.
It is it's, and people wonder why, it can do 4K and it's got so many more games, and it's like they have one of the main reasons why they haven't put just every big game into the Xbox side of things is because of storage costs, supposedly, because they're a lot bigger in scope on the Xbox side of things, in more places with a lot more server capacity, and they have to essentially pay themselves, aka cut it out of their budget, and report all of their costs for using Azure. Like, you're not allowed to use it for free because it's yours. That would be unfair.
Yeah, it is interesting that they have got more cloud streamable titles than Xbox straight out of the gate here. And I'm sure Xbox will have their own answer.
And it's a mix. Like, there's a lot of the small, sloppy indie things, but then there's a lot of really big games. And if I had to guess, it is, again, they're just less capacity, so they have less costs associated with server storage and everything. So
yeah,
but it's
cool though.
It's good competition. Yeah. Competition, good. Look what it do. You get cool things.
Yeah. Equally, speaking of competition, there was lots of stuff picked up about a PC label directly from PlayStation, and this caused even more consternation and discussion. Because, are they bringing PlayStation games, more of them? And they making a PC store? I think this all started with
Nick years ago, actually. It's really fucking annoying.
Yeah, we've been hearing about this for ages. But, this is... I'm trying to find the actual freaking... Because it's not in the showrunner.
What?
The PC part of this PlayStation story.
It's pretty much. I didn't even put that in there. I just put that there doing the streaming beta leaves.
Yeah, it's a cross-buy graphic option.
Yeah, so there's in their website, people have been going through and data mining again, and there's like cross-buy and PC labels now available for games. So and people are like, it's probably just for the handheld. I'm like, why would PC be there if it's just for the handheld? And Nick had talked about it before, I think, about them possibly looking into having their own storefront. It wouldn't be an exclusive PC storefront. That would make no goddamn sense. That's just me guessing. But they would still be on everywhere they already are, which is they're all over Steam. They're quite often on Epic. They got multiple things on GOG. Like, when you're on PC, you end up being in every store. So I don't think that, like, having a cross-buy, and maybe the best place to play is on the PlayStation launcher, if they have one. Type of thing, not the only place to play, because that would, and also people would be like, they block their PlayStation launcher off of an Xbox. I'm like, that's just not how Windows works.
Yeah,
if it's just Windows, you can't do that, and because Microsoft can't do that, because it was made very clear, we will chop you into bits if you ever try and pull that monopolistic shit.
The thing I raised when I discussed this yesterday was that Microsoft have the capacity to have multiple PC ports on day one for most of their studios. Not all. which is why we see sometimes that it doesn't happen.
Right, even
Keeper, South of
within
Midnight, Forza Horizon 6.
even within Obsidian, Avowed wasn't. But
Yeah.
then they had a company do the Outer Worlds too. They couldn't do it themselves. They hired someone to do it, just like Playground will hire someone for Forza.
Yeah. So if they are planning for more and more native PC versions, does that mean they're going to be outsourcing all of these? Are they ramping up hiring internally at the studios they own to have that skill set then be native to each studio? Like, these are questions that I don't know.
Well, they
the
bought
answers to.
Nixus for it, and Nixus's ports have been very rough lately because it feels like they're being worked pretty heavily. Like they worked even on I think they worked on the Helldivers port to Xbox. But like Spider-Man 2 is in rough shape. Last of Us 1 and 2 were both in rough shape. The PC ports haven't been the best lately from them. They were pretty bad, got pretty good, and have been a little rough again. So it will be interesting. And it was the as Woodstar Forges mentions in the chat, as you said yesterday on Game Mess, Sony's always like 5 years behind. They end up, and Jeff was like, yeah, they might take very different routes to get there, but oddly enough, they always kind of end up in the same place at the end because Microsoft rips the Band-Aid off while stepping on rakes, whereas PlayStation lurks in the shadows. Because like I was talking with someone online the other day and like, PlayStation hasn't shut down studios and fired people like Microsoft, and I just linked them all the studios they've shut down and all the people they've fired. They're just not super loud about it. Like they are a very quiet company for the most part. And I think that really does end up benefiting them because they can just come in and do stuff, and then that's when it's like, this is brilliant, instead of what are you doing? I saw another guy who likes the Xbox platform. It's been a horrible year for Xbox. I'm like, man, if you just care about the platform, it's been one of their best, and then next year looks even better. Like even Stephen Totillo was, they've got this space. Can they keep it up next year? And it's like, well, all the things we already know are coming are better than this year. So yes. A year after that, I don't know. But that is the thing. Sony will do something like this, which is really good, and they're doing it because there is still competition, not with just Xbox, but with everything that gets your attention. And I know Jez was talking about how the line about TikTok doesn't make sense because they're not trying to get the TikTok audience. And it's like, it's just the general concept of how hard it is to get someone's time. So they're not all going to go about it the same way. Like they had all the social media integration stuff. But everyone wants to charge for that now. I highly doubt no one thinks it's worth it because they all got rid of it. You can't post to Twitter anymore, for instance. But
yeah. But like Stephen Tortilla, like you said, he put a list out of everything Microsoft have released in 2025, and we've got Avowed, Candy Crush, Solitaire, The Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered, South of Midnight, DLC for Age of Empires, Doom: The Dark Ages, Retro Classics, DLC for Ara History Untold, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, Grounded 2, Heretic and Hexen, Gears of War Reloaded, DLC for Indiana Jones, Keeper, Ninja Gaiden 4, The Outer Worlds 2, DLC for Age of Empires again, Call of Duty Black Ops 7, and DLC for Fallout 76. And it doesn't include, as per his own notes, support for Sea of Thieves and all that content, The Elder Scrolls Online, or the updates and vibrant visual stuff for Minecraft. That's a lot for one publisher.
And everything keeps coming to Fallout 76. Like they are pretty much the most prolific publisher out in the West. Like I'm sure Netease and Netease just makes so much goddamn money, but a lot of that is mobile. But like for what we focus on PC and console, there's no one putting out as much solid content as Microsoft, but it doesn't. The narrative is too strong right now, where I still see people trying to say, what games do they even have? Or, all this Game Pass slop. And it's like, if you actually use the platform, there's too much great shit to play. That just is the fact. Yep.
I've had 2025 has been, I think it's up there with like 2007 for me in terms of like, oh my God, I've got so many great games to play. Paul Brown, 1409 in the chat, who may be a little bit behind in the show, says AI that takes jobs is bad. Robots that take people's jobs is bad. If all jobs are taken to save companies, it won't matter if no one has a job earning money to pay for goods. You're absolutely right. I didn't say that AI taking people's jobs is good. I just said it's what happens and it sucks. Like, just screaming it's bad doesn't do anything. It is going to happen, is my point. So, yeah. That's it. It's a
lot of the people whose job is to
reality.
do this type of stuff. they're replaced in the long run by people who learn how to manage and work all the AI. It's like the people who learn how to fix all the machines. Why are TVs so cheap? Why are monitors so cheap? Because the factories in Asia have automated almost everything, and they can keep their costs incredibly low, but they need a bunch of people to make sure those robots work right. So those jobs go up. Like there's always a give and take as society progresses, and it sucks, but it will never end. It's just not the way things are set up.
Sadly. Sad but true. Anyways, last couple of news stories now as we close things out. If you were looking forward to Terminator 2D No Fate, which was meant to release, I think on Halloween.
October 30th, I think. Yeah.
Around that, yeah. Whoops. They needed a little more time to get all those physical editions together.
It was delayed from October 30th to November 29th or something, and now into the middle of December because tariffs really messed up their physical edition, and they need the time to get it all out there at the same time as the digital release.
Yeah. So now it's coming out December 12th, 2025.
Yep. Not a huge delay, but it is one that will probably make it easier to review.
Yeah. Gives us a little breathing room. So thanks, Terminator 2D No Fate and Reef Entertainment.
And then someone that would probably have been a great guest this weekend, as I kept mentioning to Nick.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a busy guy.
No, he literally just said, I asked a while ago, he's like, oh, you haven't been on the show for a while. You should be back on. He's like, oh, there's something coming. Definitely worth talking after that. What would that be, John?
Well, yeah. Thomas Sala, who's been on the show a number of times on the main Xbox Era podcast, has been beavering away on an update for Xbox Series launch title, The Falconeer. And honestly, you should look at the trailer for this. I think I've embedded it in our article.
It's already playing.
The difference is stark. So 5 years ago, he released this game. It used no textures. It was solo developed project, and it was really good. It was a launch title for the Xbox Series X and S. I think it was on Game Pass, if memory serves. Mm-hmm. And now, in that 5 year period, he made a bunch of updates to it, some DLC, moved on, built a game called Bulwark in the same universe as a city builder, made a bunch of updates to that. That also reviewed really well, was pretty cool. And now he's come back and he's revisited the Falconeer and used everything he's learned to make the Falconeer Revolution remaster. And per his publisher, Wired Interactive, the Falconeer Revolution remaster, which launched yesterday on Steam, is completely reimagining the Falconeer. It's rebuilt from the ground up with new tech, overhauled environments, improved flight mechanics, expanded environments, enhanced gameplay systems, and the inclusion of all the previous DLC. And the remaster offering elevates the experience for both returning players and new pilots alike. Now, this is all well and good. And there's a whole laundry list of improvements there that make the game better than it was. Thomas Sala put a blog post up on Steam and reflected like, why did I do this? This is a free update, effectively, right? This is for everybody that owns the Falconeer on Steam, and he's preserved the original version via a different branch. If you want to just play that standard version, you can. If you want to play the shiny new remaster, you can do that too. And yeah, he reflected a little bit on why he did this. And he said, by all accounts, when he released the Falconeer, it did really well, and it even got nominated for a BAFTA, and it was an Xbox Series launch title. And that last bit is important because being required to sim ship, that's the actual game biz word, Xbox and PC at the same time, during a pandemic, isn't a zen place to be. And every release is a horror, but this one was pretty bad by every account. And let's be honest, the PC launch suffered in many ways. Some my own mistakes biting me, some consequences of releasing an indie console launch title in a week where both Xbox and PlayStation were launching their next generation hardware. But that is one part of this story, a chance at doing it better. The other part is that the Falconeer is a game about me. It's a deeply personal game related to mental health issues, burnout, conflict, anger, and trying to escape the prisons we create for ourselves, flying off into the sunset and all of that. So in the evenings of doing my dream job of making video games, I've spent a lot of my free time making a video game. Again, I was relaxing by taking bits of Bulwark and sticking them into the Falconeer because that's my happy place. And this has gotten a bit out of hand in 2025. And at some point, I was juggling both Bulwark and the Falconeer and bringing improvements from the Falconeer back into Bulwark and so forth. But damn if it wasn't good. It felt like I was finally making the Falconeer that was stuck under all of that stress and obligation. So here we are. The 5-year anniversary of the Falconeer in November 2025. Super cool. If you have it on Steam, go check it out. If you haven't got it on Steam, consider picking it up and supporting this indie developer. If you've not watched the episodes with Thomas on, he was there in the early days when we were just a fledgling little podcast, a glint in the eye of Xbox fans everywhere. And here we are all these years
with
later.
Skype NDI cameras.
But there is one but to this story. Great, John. That sounds cool. I want to play it on my Xbox. Well, I asked Thomas that question because this is all Steam. Where's an Xbox update? And nutshell, paraphrasing, he urged patience, but that he would love to see it happen. And this is one thing where I'm like, it would be very cool and very un-Microsoft of Microsoft to actually see them step in and try and help bring this port back. Because Thomas was there during that difficult time supporting their platform launch. And it would be kind of cool to see that reciprocated. I don't imagine it would cost a crazy amount of money to help bring that port over and give it back to all the fans of the game on Xbox. Do the right thing, Microsoft. Step in here. Help out. That's just my opinion. But yeah, there you go. That's all the news. That's all the news. I don't know if there's any more. Has anything happened in the last hour that we should probably be aware of and stress about? Oh, good.
Microsoft shareholders are urging them to really look into what they're working with at Israel. Called Prop 9. For those who are wondering, because they're like, hey, you got this whole boycott against you. You're saying you don't really know what's being used. What the heck's going on? And so you should look into that more, type of thing. So, which would affect Xbox as they are the main target of the boycott.
Oh, there was another bit of news that I did want to talk about beyond that. But yes, absolutely do that, shareholders. Pressure those Microsoft boffins. Some bad news. I'm sorry to end the show on bad news, but it's a pretty big deal. Bad Brain Games. They are announcing they're shutting down. This is a Canadian developer owned by Netease, and Netease have been closing a number of studios recently, and now Bad Brain Game Studios have followed in that vein.
Yeah, they were they didn't own them, but they were their funders. They funded them, so without that funding, and no one can find funding anywhere. So once it gets pulled, like I know Jon Romero was talking about, still looking for funding to make his dream game that Microsoft had pulled out of, and it's like, yeah, no one's biting. Paying for shit.
These guys are ceasing operations on November 17th, so they've got a little bit of time because they've been unable to secure a publisher for their latest title, Midnight Riders. As such, in a desperate, perhaps Hail Mary, the team have posted a statement on LinkedIn alongside a sizzle reel of the game, confirming that the studio is going to shut down. NetEase has pulled their funding. These are teams that were made up of former developers from Ubisoft who worked on Watch Dogs Legion in 2023. And yeah, this sucks. You can see the footage of their game.
Is it in the article?
No. I don't know why it isn't.
It is not. Way to go, John. You hate these people.
I didn't write this article.
But you approved it by being the editor in chief.
The EIC. Yeah.
I don't even see a link to LinkedIn.
Let me find it. Hang on a second.
Oh, too late. All right. Thanks, everyone.
It is only on LinkedIn. It's not on.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah, it's not on YouTube. I'll see if I can find it and embed it. But yeah, there you go. That is some
unfortunately,
bad
NetEase is severely pulling out of Western development. Pretty heavy. So here is the sizzle reel. Prototype gameplay does not represent final quality. I saw pictures pulled from this yesterday. I hadn't actually seen the full sizzle reel. But yeah, it's one of the toughest things right now in gaming is finding any type of funding.
Yep.
That's why people are always like,
brutal
hey,
out
you
there.
should do a console wars game. Like, man, from what I've heard from devs, finding money, like finding a dev might not be impossible, but finding money for that dev to survive while they make it is just really hard.
Yeah. It's brutal out there, man. And this looks cool. I love the stylized look of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sucks.
This industry hurts sometimes. She's a cruel mistress. Anyways, that is it for news now. Finally, at the top of the hour. For more Xbox Era, tomorrow is going to be the big day.
Mm-hmm.
Tune in for the 5th annual Extra Life charity stream where we'll be, or mostly Jesse, we'll be doing crazy shit, eating disgusting beans, playing loads of video games, and importantly, giving loads of video games away
On our Discord.
as we try desperately to increase our donation tier and beat last year, which I think was over $2,000,
Just a
right?
hair over $2,000 last year.
So I believe this community can make that happen. You'll be able to tune in all day, Jesse. From when?
Probably like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, Eastern U.S. Standard Time.
Fun times. And then I'll pop along when I can and do something. But yeah, do some egging on, please. I want to see that happen. We will probably not be back on Saturday for the Xbox Hero podcast in terms of a mainline episode because, you know, without Jesse, we're just lost. We're just lost. We're just men. We're just ordinary men.
You're just interrupted men.
Yeah, uninterrupted. We could have called that show episode 288 Uninterrupted.
I think the main thing, people are used to roundtables where the host just does a bunch of talking, then calls on someone to talk, and then does a bunch of talking and calls on someone else to talk. And I hate that type of show. It's not a conversation. It
feels scripted.
It's a bunch of forum posts. Like, I'll say a forum post, and then you say a forum post or a tweet, essentially. Like, it's not a back and forth conversation. But also, unlike, say, the Iron Lords, who are all very close to each other and have very low latency, we are very far apart. We are about as far apart as 3 people can be. So,
true story.
And Nick never shuts the fuck up.
There's also that.
He did not comment on the fact that he was 80% of the show. I went
funny
through.
that
He was 80% of the time talking was him. You and I were like roughly 10% each.
Wow. Nick's ego knows no bounds. We will be back on Tuesday next week for more Xbox Era headlines and news roundups. And of course, keep your eyes on the site as we beaver away on more video game reviews, Patreon exclusive content, and more. Until then, ciao for now.
Rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I sleep alone. Sweep the streets I used to roam. I used to roll the dice, feel the fear in my enemy's eyes. Listen as the crowd would sing. Now the old king is dead, long live the king. One moment I held the key, next to walls were closed on me. Discovered that my castle stand upon pillars of salt and pillars of sand. I hear drums and the bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, once you come there was never an honest word, and that was when I ruled the world. It was so wicked and wild.